What's going on, guys? It's Asal, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to be a better Hanzo player. Now before we get started, I want to point out that Hanzo is not the easiest hero to play well. He has a huge potential to be played well thanks to his high damage, but it takes a bit of practice to start landing those shots consistently. So if you don't consider yourself to have the best aim, or you don't want to spend a few games getting used to his attacks, then maybe Hanzo isn't the hero for you. But if you're prepared to buckle down and get good, then stick around. The learning curve with Hanzo comes from the fact that his attack is both projectile based and subject to the effect of gravity. Now, there are quite a few heroes in Overwatch that have projectile-based attacks, but Hanzo is one of the few who has to worry about gravity as well. So, for example, if you're trying to kill a moving target from a distance, you will have to aim both above your target and in front of them. Plus, your rate of fire with Hanzo is quite low, so being accurate with your shots is very important. Now, getting to the point where you can land shots consistently will take some getting used to, but with the ability to one-shot heroes with low health pools, Hanzo is definitely one of my favorite heroes to play. It might sound silly, but taking a few minutes to shoot at bots in the test range will help you quickly get a feel for how much you need to lead your shots, as well as how much your projectiles drop over a distance. Now, it's not always easy to see how much you missed your target in a real game, so a controlled environment like the test range will help you get comfortable more quickly. Hanzo's first ability is Sonic Arrow, which modifies your basic attack to mark enemy players who are in the range of the arrow when it strikes, while still dealing damage. Now, once an enemy player is marked, you can see their outline through walls, just like Widowmaker's ultimate. Now, this ability really highlights Hanzo's role as a defensive player, and it complements his main attack quite nicely, as you can line up an attack before someone rounds a corner and release at the appropriate time. Now, I recommend that you try and use this ability often, as the vision will benefit your entire team, and as well, try to aim at clumps of enemies, as there is no limit to the number of players that you can mark with this ability. Hanzo's second ability is Scatter Arrow, which again modifies your basic attack such that your arrow will fragment and ricochet off walls upon impact. Now, this ability can be an absolute lifesaver when an enemy player gets right up in your face, as your unmodified attack can be a little difficult to land in close quarters. So if you find yourself in this situation, aim this ability directly at your opponent's feet, as almost every shot will bounce up and hit your opponent. Now, if done correctly, you can actually one-shot squish your heroes with this tactic. Now, this ability is also great for finishing off enemy heroes who are no longer in your line of sight, especially if they are running into a building, as the fragments will ricochet around the entire room. Finally, we have Hanzo's ultimate, Dragonstrike. Now, Dragonstrike is extremely powerful. As you can see, it's capable of wiping out the entire enemy team when used correctly. Now, this attack doesn't move very fast, but it is able to travel through walls, so it's best to try and either use this from behind or through a wall, as avoiding it is pretty easy to do if you can see it coming. But with that being said, Dragonstrike is also a great ability to clear the enemy team from an objective, even if they do see it coming. Now, the best way to make up for the slow speed of Dragonstrike is to use it when the enemy team is immobilized from ultimates like Reinhardt's Earth Shatter, Mei's Blizzard, or Zarya's Graviton Surge. Now, to help mitigate the fact that Hanzo's projectiles are subject to gravity, it's helpful to use Hanzo's ability to climb walls so that you can attack your enemies from above. Now, you have to be careful when getting that perfect attack angle, because Hanzo is very weak in situations where he is surrounded, so it's better to attack from afar and limit those close quarters engagements to only when absolutely necessary. Regarding specific matchups, Hanzo is a great all-rounder, but he is weakest against close range heroes. Now, while Hanzo can deal very high burst damage from a short distance, it's not always easy to land shots, especially if your Scatter Arrow is on cooldown. Now, another engagement that you'll want to avoid is long-range sniper battles with Widowmaker, as she has the advantage simply because it's much easier to land shots with Widowmaker than it is with Hanzo. And remember, in all engagements, you want to be aiming for the head, because Hanzo's attack speed is very slow, so you want to make every shot do as much damage as possible. Plus, in doing so, you'll get to enjoy the satisfaction of one-shotting enemy heroes. Hanzo's ability to climb walls also makes him ideal for flanking, as it allows him to get above and behind the enemy team, and generally speaking, if you can get a good flank off, it'll be much easier to line up headshots from behind, as the enemy heroes won't be protecting themselves from that angle. Also, you can use Dragonstrike from behind because if they don't see it coming, they won't be able to get out of the way. It'll take some time to get used to Hanzo, but once you start landing those shots on a consistent basis, you will quickly realize why Hanzo is one of my favorite heroes. Click that like button if you found this video helpful, and if you want to see more videos just like this one, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Now everyone, this has been Sal, and I will see you guys next time.